before we discuss about your experience in SSB and the tips you would like to give to aspirants, so since you are a fighter pilot, I just have one question. How does it feel to be flying an aircraft faster than speed of sound? How does it feel to be?
It's a feeling which cannot be actually put down in words. Okay, you have to be there to feel it, basically. Okay, it's a dream for most of the youngsters who are into that kind of who have that kind of an attitude. Okay, to get into the aircraft, fly fighters. Okay, fighters have got their own glamour associated with it. Okay, so flying faster than the speed of sound. Okay, it's thrilling. It's a different feeling altogether.
Yeah, got it, sir. So, sir, will you be able to tell us what was your motivation to join Indian Air Force back then? So, how did the idea come that you have to join Indian Air Force? How did that happen?
See, Akash, flying has always been a very passionate thing for me. Okay, right from childhood, I remember the first time when our school annual picnic. Okay, I was in a convent and they took us for a picnic to the airport. The site was close to airport, and that was the first time I saw real big aeroplanes there. Okay, and that passion to get into the cockpit one day and fly that big jet was always there in my mind. Initially, after class 12th, as the thing was that time, there was a normal this thing that you will do your class 12th. My parents were also that, okay, now after 12th, you'll get into IIT JEE and all those things. So I applied for IIT JEE, but I didn't go and join that side. I continued my graduation, and then I appeared for CDS. Okay, and from CDS, I appeared when I was in final year of my third year of my BSc. Then I appeared for CDS, written, cleared, and then first time only I got through for SSP and Air Force Selection Board Dehradun. That was way back in 1990.
Okay.
And from there, day onwards, the journey started. I joined the academy. I remember, I think it was 7th of January 91. I got commissioned on 13th of June 92. After commissioning, I was into fighters, and from there, I got posted to my first training unit in fighters. You can say that was in day school that time, 30 squadron, Rhinos, it was called as. First 6 months there, then second semester was in Bagdogra in 8th squadron, pursuit. These are the two places where I did my operational flying on MiGs. Okay, so that time it was called as MOC2. It was MiG operational flying training unit. Okay. After my second semester, then we got posted on to the operational units. And my first operational unit was 22 Squadron. That was in Hashimara. It's a small place close to West Bengal Assam border. Close to Alipurduar. Alipurduar is the biggest place there. And I was there. That was the first time that we got directly into MiG-27. MiG-27 that time was fairly latest of the fighter aircraft available in our inventory. Okay, as far as ground attack was concerned. So I got into MiG-27. A maximum amount of flying I've done in MiG-27. Okay. Thereafter, in 2005, I got an opportunity to have a tenure in Air Force Selection Board also as a psychologist. I had applied for it, and then I got through, cleared my written, cleared my OJT, and the first posting was in Air Force Selection Board Varanasi. That is 4 Air Force Selection Board. I stayed there for 3 years. Then I went for my staff college. Again, I got posted to Air Force Selection Board Dehradun this time. After doing 2 tenures in various SSBs, I was posted as Chief Operations Officer in Nalia, Air Force Station Nalia. That's a frontline base close to our western border. There, I was there. Then I was Chief Operations Officer in Bakshiga Talab also, where MiG-21s were positioned that time. 35 squad was there. Then I got posted again for my third tenure again to Air Force Selection Board Dehradun. From where I took premature retirement in 2017. So I had almost 3 tenures in Service Selection Board, about 8 years or so I spent there.
Okay, got it, sir. Sir, how was your SSB experience when you actually joined Indian Air Force? How did you prepare back then?
Oh, that time there was nothing. When I went for my SSB, I didn't have any formal training, or there was no coachings and other things at that time. Even if it would have been there, I'm from Lucknow. It's a very small town, and Lucknow, I don't remember any coaching or anything was there. Okay, so it was just raw me appearing in SSB. Okay, I was being told, okay, that the input which I got from various books and other things which I read, you have to be positive, you have to be natural, you have to be honest to yourself. And my idea when I went for my SSB was to go there, have that feeling, give my 100% of course, and enjoy the journey or enjoy the testing procedure which is there. Okay. In fact, I was not even aware of how long is it going to last. So I told my parents at home that okay, it's 5 days, and after 5 days I'll be back. Now, when I went to SSB in Dehradun, I got recommended, and from there only they had sent us to medicals for medicals to Delhi. Okay, now
Okay.
the problem was that I'm talking about 90. That time there was no public telephone booths or anything from where I could actually even inform my parents that now I moved from Dehradun to Delhi. Okay, so we got down at Delhi, and from there I remember we all five of us were there who got recommended, and we all went to airport, Palam
Uh,
airport. Okay, from there, that time it used to be like put a coin and keep on talking. So
mm,
we informed from there that okay, now I am in Delhi and I'll take another 3 days to come back. Because the problem was that okay, my mom will get worried ki chala kahan gaya beta.
mm.
So that was a good experience, and we cleared our medicals and uh, subsequently joined the academy in 91 January.
Okay. So currently you're also training aspirants for the forces. So if you could tell us how and what and all you teach basically, and how can people contact you, you would give us some overall high level details about them.
So I have been up taking voluntary retirement in 2017. Yeah, I have been guiding youngsters who are keen to join armed forces. Okay, nowadays there is I see a lot of motivation and a lot of josh amongst the kids who are the youngsters who are there to join armed forces. So initially I had joined hands with one of the coachings out there. Okay, and I was looking after the SSB part of that. My aim and my sole purpose of getting into this thing was to help out or to give back to the society what society has given to me. Okay, money was never in my mind. Okay, it was never in my mind. It was just that okay, I should do something for the society, and that I got into it. Uh, I started giving imparting knowledge, my experience, whatever I had during my 8 years of service selection board tenure. Okay, and I joined hands with one of the. I was a psychologist. I had joined hands with one of the GTO also, who is from Lucknow only. So both of us, we actually we started off this small journey of training the students. So it started off from 2 students to 5 students, then it went on to 20 to 25 students also.
Mm.
Okay. Uh, it was a good and a very satisfying feeling which you get once your student gets recommended. Okay, I still remember my first batch in which there was one student who was from a small place close to Lucknow, which is known as Barabanki. Okay, and that chap got recommended. He, along with his mother, came early morning to say thanks to me at about 6 o'clock. Okay, actually, we had just got up only, and they were there at our door, the gate. He said, "मैं आ गया हूँ, मम्मी भी आई है और तभी तक small मिठाई का डब्बा कि sir I got recommended." So it gives a very satisfying feeling. Okay, when you see now these that must have got I think he's gone. He got to an NDA now, so I think he must have cleared his IMA also.
Okay.
Okay, in uniform now. So it's a very satisfying feeling that you get that okay, you have done something worthwhile. Okay, your work has not gone waste. Whatever you have learned, now you're giving it back to the society. So a good and an amazing feeling which you get when you find that one of your kid gets recommended.
True, sir. Even I have tried for SSB lot many times, and even I understand the psychology part of the testing is really unknown to lot many. So it's
Yeah,
very ambiguous and mysterious. So if you could just put
yeah.
light on how psychologists or psychologists basically assess the responses, the importance of TAT, which you have also mentioned on your YouTube channel. So if you could just briefly explain us how psychologists look into the responses, how one aspirant should prepare for it.
See, psychology, as it is said in the assessment world, psychology is the mother of all the techniques. Okay, basically in SSB, psychologist is one person who never meets the candidate. Okay, so while you as a candidate you go and you meet the GTO, okay, through those body language or through those expressions, you get a feeling how you are performing, whether he's satisfied, he's happy, not happy. Similarly, you speak to the interviewing officer. Okay, you get a feeling you have done well because with that facial expression, you get a fair amount of idea of what you have done. But psychology is one thing where you don't know whether you have done good, bad, ugly, what you have done. Okay, why? Because there is no feedback which is given to you. Okay, that is the way the selection boards work basically. Okay, so main thing in psychology is that the uh, the the feeling of getting biased is very minimal. Okay, there is bias never creeps in as far as psychologist is concerned because you never meet a candidate. Okay, so that is one part. And psychology deals with the testing procedure in psych test is such that the unconscious part, the subconscious part, and the conscious part, the entire personality profile gets assessed by the psychologist. Okay, through the medium of writing stories, through the medium of writing sentences, and through the medium of writing reactions or to the particular situations. Okay, so when you write a story, okay, the unconscious part of your personality, okay, that gets revealed, okay, in a major way. Okay, why? Because when you are shown a picture and you are told that okay, now Akash, write a story on this picture. Okay, there are no rules, there are no regulations, there are no boundaries. Whatever comes into your mind, okay, you keep on writing it in a form of a story. Okay, so whatever are the hidden desires, the needs, the wants, which are there in your unconscious part of the personality, that gets revealed. Okay, and when we talk of personality, the personality of an individual is it's like an iceberg. Okay, the tip is visible, but the majority is underneath the surface of water, and that underneath part is the unconscious part of your personality. Okay, so all those things they come out, and the true colors of an individual. Okay, even though no matter how much of training or guidance he must have taken, okay, by the time a candidate writes the story, okay, because of the stress which keeps on playing on him, his true colors come out. Okay, and the unconscious part is being checked out in DAT, W18 is subconscious part, and conscious part of your personality gets checked out in SRT. Okay, when you are behaving in a very conscious manner. Okay, so on and on, the entire battery of tests which are there in psychology gives the complete personality profile of an individual. Okay, so many things which are not very clearly observed in GT technique or in interview gets revealed in psychology. Okay. The social adaptability part, okay, your adjustment issues, your cooperation, your sense of responsibility, the duties and obligations which you have towards the other members, the peer group, the juniors, the seniors, everything. This get very well covered in the psych test.
So regarding psychology, there are a lot of things like you should attend a number of say questions in SRT, the number of words you attempt in WATs. Does that affect a lot? So you're
It
only
is
40
a
out of
mix.
50.
It is a mix of both quantity and quality. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Everything which you are writing, okay, in the dossier, in the answer sheet, okay, it is available to you and you can go through it a number of times when you're assessing it. Okay. So what quality the candidate is revealing? Okay. On and on, the entire psych test is a test about your imagination, basically. Okay. And when I talk about imagination, I want your original imaginal product. Okay. I don't want any borrowed imagination or borrowed ideas from anywhere else. Okay. So the kind of output which a candidate is giving, whether he is being true to himself and it is coming out as an original product from his imagination, that is it that way, or has he read somewhere and thereafter he's copying those ideas just plainly there? Okay, so the quality which comes out, okay, is very, very important. And along with the quality, yes, quantity also matters. It should not be that there are out of 60 words, you have attempted only 20 words. Okay, then it shows that, okay, your thinking process is very, very slow. Your time management is all wonky. You're not worried about competing. Okay, so many things, inferences are there. Okay, so it's a mix of, I'll say it's a mix of both quality as well as quantity.
Got it, sir. So when you spoke about the original thoughts and the imagination that comes up, कभी कभी ऐसा फोटो दिखाते हैं which is relatable to say some news which you read in newspaper or something which you saw in news. So is it okay to put that story even though it was very positive or some heroic? So should we use that, or what's your
See,
opinion about that?
if you can use that story, okay, the
Uh,
person who's sitting next to you can also use the same story.
Correct.
Okay, so then what is the USP of Akash as such?
Correct.
It'll become a common thing.
Correct.
Okay. Now, if you can use that story, analyze it, give your own analysis in your story. Okay.
Uh,
That is different, and that is what we want. Okay.
mm,
So see, any pick and you pick up any story, you write it. Okay. Either it can be many of the stimuluses are very, very common, wherein you can find a story from Panchatantra or anywhere, any book which you have read in your time. Okay. But the thing is that if you can write, the other person can also write. Okay. So if out of 10 boys, 8 boys are writing a kind of story, there's no originality in that. Okay. So that makes a difference.
Okay. Sir, if you can briefly tell us the importance of the self-description that has been written in psychology part, how does that help a psychologist, or how useful is it? Is it just about a candidate knowing about himself? What does it actually?
See, yeah, the importance of self-description is to see how much of an insight the candidate is having. Okay. Now, why is insight important? Is because unless and until you know about your strengths as well as you know about your weaknesses, okay, your personality growth, your growth will not be there. Okay. So, as a good individual, it is it is supposed to be that you should be knowing about your strengths. Okay, so that you can exploit your strengths to the core, and you should be aware about your weaknesses also, so that you can work upon your weaknesses and improve yourself.
Mm,
Okay,
okay.
so that is the major part why we ask the candidate to write about himself. Okay, whether he's knowing himself or he's not knowing himself.
Okay. Got it, sir. Say somebody is an aspirant, how should one go ahead and start preparing in terms of all the tests and even in terms of personality development? If there are some tips that you would like to give to aspirants.
See, number one, mm, you should be, if you're really focused about joining armed forces, okay, you should be very, very careful about taking tips from the people who are not trained for giving tips. Okay, a lot of misguidance takes place through YouTube, through various other social media platforms. Okay, rather than guiding, a person can guide you only and only if there has been to assist you. Okay, even my fellow brothers who have been in Army, Air Force, or Navy. Okay, as an officer, you don't know what are the things which are being looked for in SSB. Okay, you know a general feeling is there. Okay, you have to be positive, you have to be honest. All those things are there. But the real intricacies about how to prepare and how to write your answer so that your OLQs are getting reflected in a correct manner can be told to you only by an assessor who has been there, who has seen the environment, who knows what all things needs to be shown and in which perspective they needs to be reflected. Okay.
Mm,
So you have to be very, very careful when you are trying to gain some experience or trying to gain some knowledge from people from various social platforms. Okay. So that is one. Next is be very, very open to I will say be very, very open when you go and present yourself in a system. Okay, you have to enjoy the stay and give your 100% with complete focus, complete attention. That yes, you have come here with a purpose, and you should not deviate from that. Okay, if you are open to it, if you are giving your true self, true personality in a correct manner, okay, you go. When normally means I mean 99% of the candidates who go there, they go with a list of things. Okay, at least they know these are the OLQs, and if you understand what are the OLQs, and these are the things which will be checked. or when you are there in SSB, okay, you reflect those things in a very natural manner, the way you are. Okay, the chances of getting recommended will be that much more. Problem comes when a candidate goes with a preconceived idea. Okay, now what is preconceived means? Somebody has told him, okay, ये picture दिखे तो ये story लिख देना, ये word दिखे तो ये sentence लिख देना. Okay, which is not his वो आपका उसका original नहीं है. But somebody has told him, so he is trying to. It's like fixing a circular ball in a square peg. Okay, which will never happen. Okay, so that is where the problem comes. When you try to cover up your personality by somebody else's idea or something. Okay, and you can't do it for long. There are 12 stories which needs to be written. It is nearly impossible that 12 stories आपकी किसी रटी हुई आ जाएंगी. Okay, it's very, very difficult. So you should go with an open mind, with a focus, with a concentration that you will give up your best. Okay, approach the problem as they are being presented to you. If you have been lucky enough to be guided by someone who has been an assessor and who has been in the selection system, it is that much more beneficial for you. Okay. I'm very sure that none of the assessor, okay, any people from assessors community, he will never tell you, okay, ye rat lo. He will guide you in a proper manner if he's a good assessor. Okay, how to approach the problem and how to present yourself. That is what you have to learn.
Got it, sir. So, sir, I was able to understand a lot of things about SSB and how one should prepare. Question about your life in the academy while you were selected for the Air Force Academy. How was it? Any memorable memory that you'd like to share?
The life in academy, initial 6 months, so kaise nikal jate you never come to know, because there used to be a lot of ragda. Okay, your seniors trying to teach you a lot many things. Okay, me being from a civilian background, it was a different world for me. Okay, and that time when there was no this initial first month tak to letter bhi nahi aata tha ghar se ki, and pata bhi nahi chalta tha ki ho kahan pe. Okay, so but these are the memories which you cherish when you become senior yourself and when you grow up in service. Okay. So academy was good. Initially, we were 6 months in Begzampet. Then basic flying started. I started flying on HPT 32, which is now phased out. And then I graduated on from there to Iskaraj.
You also participated in the Kargil War. So if you could just picture for the audience, how was the situation back then and the role of Indian Air Force? If you could just help us out with that.
Kargil War took place in 1999, and I was posted in 9th Squadron that time. That's a place. It's a place. It was stationed that time in Adhampur, which is close to Jalandhar. Okay, so I was flying MiG-27 and MiG-20 and 9th Squadron, which is now equipped with Mirages. That time it was with MiG-27s. So that was the time that we were told to move, and it was really a very, very satisfying and a very good experience which we had, which any soldier could have had. Actually, the dream of a soldier is always there to be prepared for that D-Day when you can go and do something for your country. Okay, so and very few of us we get an opportunity to go and actually fight for your country. Okay, so it was from Adhampur that we went. Our op location was Srinagar that time. So we went there, and the best part of Kargil was that it was a very short and a sweet war which we had. Okay, we went there and we came back also within 2 months. It was all over, and we were back also. So we ferried to Srinagar. Ferry itself was very adventurous because it was all cloudy that time, and monsoons were setting in. We were 4 of us. Our CEO was leading Wing Commander that time, Wing Commander Avatar Singh. Okay, so he was there, and 3 of us were there. So we were the first one to land there in Srinagar, along with MiG-29s. MiG-29s were they were supposed to be giving us the cover. They were our escorts, and they were operating from Avantipur. Avantipur is a satellite airbase for Srinagar. So we landed there. Initially, we were doing the recce part, wherein we were trying to locate the targets, the singers, the positions where these people have come and occupied. Okay, although it was very, very difficult that time to appreciate those peaks where they are positioned from that height. Okay, so the intelligence was there. Army was already deployed. We had a lot of exercises, coordination exercises with the army people, wherein they used to locate the peak and we used to try and bomb at that site. Okay, so initially when the war actually started, initially we were flying at 7, 8, 9 kilometers. Okay, dropping bombs from that height, and in the initial part, we were also told to do rocket attacks and all. Now, for doing rocket attack and all, you come down. The height comes down, and that was the time when Nachiketa was being shot down. He was my youngster in the squad that time. Okay, so he was shot down, and because of him, squad leader Ajay Ahuja, who was the recce, who was doing the recce part, he was from 17th squad, and he was following the mission. Okay, now their aircraft had, because they were doing those PR missions, so they had the GPS with them. We didn't have, MiG-27 didn't have GPS that time. Okay, so to locate and pinpoint the position where Nachi ejected, Ahuja sir came down, okay, just to take a fix of that point, and in the bargain he also got shot down, and rest is known to everyone. Okay, so that was and it happened, I think, in the second or third day of the war itself. Okay, so a very, very good, or you can say bad start we had. But then as war progressed, we also, MiG-27 also got GPS installed. And I happened to be the first one to lead the mission wherein we did GPS bombing through MiG-27. After this incident happened, the height was stepped up. We were dropping from 11 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and from that height. Initially, we started dropping in a buddy roll with MiG-23 BNs. MiG-23 BNs had a GPS that time. Okay, so we were getting in close formation with them. We dropped bomb from 11 kilometers. Then MiG-27 also got a GPS installed, and I led the first mission during that time. We did the dropping. Very, very satisfying experience as such. Okay, so going there, along dropping the bomb, the results came also, and we were able to neutralize a couple of targets, okay, in the valley where these people had made their administrative bases and all. Okay, so but after that, mirages also came, and subsequently we were able to win the war. Okay, so that participation, that Operation Safaed Sagar, okay, it's been a memorable experience as far as my service life is concerned. Okay.
Okay.
The entire preparation which you do, the entire learning which you do, okay, that is for that D-Day when you go and actually put up a great show. During that time, one more incident which took place was that one day we were being told that, okay, now next day morning the mission will come and we have to go across. It will be a full-fledged war now. So everything, preparation done, bombs loaded, everything done. Okay, but then next day the mission got called up because of some bilateral talk which must have taken place at higher levels. But that preparation and that josh and that enthusiasm which was there amongst the pilots as well as the groundsmen, that was one thing which you will remember throughout your life. So a very nice and a very memorable experience as far as Operation Safaed Sagar was concerned. And MiG-27s from 9th Squadron actually are known for this participation in Operation Safaed Sagar, active participation in Kargil War.
As well. So I just have one question. When you lead men into battle, so how do you basically motivate the men? Because it's only by sheer leadership you can do it. It's not
the josh in men as well as in everyone, actually it comes automatically. The atmosphere, the environment is like that. Eventually everyone gets motivated. It means men used to come early morning at 3:30, 4 o'clock to prepare the aircraft, okay, for next day early morning mission. Okay, and in those temperatures in Srinagar, when it used to be like very, very cold out there. Okay, even though the month was of May, June, but then still, okay, coming at 3:30, preparing the aircraft, 5 o'clock, 5:30 early morning mission goes through. Okay, the josh, the entire squad was full of josh. There was no dearth of josh as such. And most of the time you are in the pen along with the men, okay, looking after your aircraft, slapping on the bombs, preparing it, okay, making the missions go as they are being planned. So that everything automatically that josh goes up, and there is no there's no dearth of enthusiasm or no dearth of josh as far as this thing is concerned. I'll show you the memento which we had during Kargil operation. Can you see it?
Yeah, okay, the wolf pack, the Kargil operation. Nice, sir.
This is one memento which I always keep it in my drawing room.
सर इसके अलावा कोई एक्सरसाइजेस है जिसमें आपने पार्टिसिपेट किया होगा, जैसे इंटरनेशनल एक्सरसाइजेस, इवन कोऑर्डिनेशन विद आर्मी?
Not many exercises were there. Every year there used to be an annual exercise, okay, in which we used to participate in. When I was in Adampur, it used to be Trishul that time.
Okay.
Then participate in Gajraj, which has now become Maha Gajraj. Okay, that used to happen in Swat. Various exercises in East. When I was there, East mein there that time used to have Purvi Akash. There used to be one annual exercise. All these exercises you keep on participating, and every year there used to be one exercise, annual exercise of that command.
Okay, got it, sir. Operation Parakram में थे आप?
For Parakram, actually we were initially split into two halves. Okay, our op location from 18th Spawn was Suratgarh. Okay, but since 9th Spawn, which was there in Adampur, they had moved on to the valley. Six of us who were valley qualified and high altitude firing qualified pilots, we were told to be as a backup at Adampur for 9th Spawn. So we were six of us. Initially, we were for about 4-5 months. We were in Adampur. Okay, we all 5-6 valley qualified pilots, and thereafter we all shifted back to Suratgarh. We were there in Suratgarh for about a year now. Okay, when we came back, Suratgarh, Parakram actually it was a very long and a stretched exercise, you can call it, because for almost a year we were there. Various small exercises took place in which we took participation with army, okay, carrying out attacks over army. Then we used to do all the exercises and participate in late night operations which were planned that time, flying close to border, coming back, and all those things were there. Firing over SK range, firing over this Jaisalmer, this Pokhran range, all these things were there. But it didn't actually happen. But the kind of experience which you get preparing yourself or stretching yourself to the maximum capability and keeping it for that long, for 1 year, actually it requires a lot of I'll say mental stamina, as well as the kind of environment which you generate or which you develop in the squad, so that nobody, even your men, they don't feel you can say they don't feel that they are not doing anything and they're just sitting there. Okay, so that preparation, keeping yourself prepared for that day, preparing for your attacks, preparing for your profiles, participating in various exercises, okay, and keeping it stretched for 1 year requires a lot of guts.
Sir, it was really nice talking to you, and I hope the aspirants who will be watching it will get some insight and guidance on how exactly they have to prepare for SSB, and probably they can even contact you and get the lessons from you on how they should be preparing. So thanks a lot, sir, for coming here and talking to us. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Jai Hind, sir.